Hello and welcome to another professional development webinar brought to you by Kernel Academies Trust. My name is Ricky and I'm here with Charlie, and we're going to be looking at the teacher side of Google Classroom and how to mark and give feedback to students.
We will be looking at how to reply to the comments on the stream, how to view submitted work and provide private comments and assessments on it, how to view marked work for quizzes and forms, and how to reply to question-based assignments.
If you're looking for an overview of which work has been handed in and by which students, the best place to find that is probably in this top left corner where there's 3 lines. Once you click on that, it will show you which classes you've got in your classrooms. So we've got 2 classes here, but we're looking at the TCAT demo classroom today, which you can see in the background, as you can see where my cursor is. So if you go into to do, and it will bring up a list of all the assignments you have published. So for example, this one here is a maths assignment, and 1's been handed in, 1's been assigned, and 2 have been marked, which may be by myself or by another teacher that has been invited into the classroom as well. If we go back to the classroom and ensure that we are on the stream, you can see, so the way we go back into here and click which classroom we want. We want the TCAT demo classroom for today. You can see some students have commented on some work below. So this is a post that's been posted by one of the teachers. Today, if we go into people here, just quickly, we're actually logged in as Mr. Jensen today, but there's also Miss Hussein who's been invited into the class as well. So that shows you can actually have more than one teacher in your classroom, which may be good for schools that have got more than one class in the year group. For example, if it's a 2-form entry school, you'll have 2 class teachers. So if we go back into the stream again, we can see that a few children have commented on a post that's been posted by one of the teachers. If you like to reply to one of these comments, you can click this button here as it brings up reply to this comment. So you click that and you can directly reply to that person or that student in your class. If you prefer just to message all of them, you might just want to just write a message to all of them because they might have said sort of the same thing, and then you can write a message saying, I can help with this, problem. And then you may want to say how you can help with it. But a lot of the time you might be sending directly to that particular person. Another thing you might want, if you might have noticed, you can see some of these, which are emojis to make your stream and your comments a bit more maybe personal. Some people like to use them, some people don't. If you like to that, you click on the right hand click on your keypad or your mouse and you see emoji at the top, and that will bring up all your different types of emojis, which is quite a nice little touch if you'd like to do that.
If we head over to the Marks tab at the top of our Google Classroom, over here, it's loading, we can see another overview of the tasks for your pupils. So each of the tasks are along the top and the pupils are along the side. We can see whether they've completed it or not. So if it's marked automatically, it's completed. If it's not completed, it won't be there. Here we've got handed in so that we know Annabella has done hers. However, our other 3 students haven't handed in their work. You will notice on some pupils that it says not assigned. This is because the work has been set specifically for one child as a means of differentiation. Only this child here, where he's got it, so Daryl, only Daryl will be able to view and complete this work. If we focus on our SPAG task first, which is at the top here, the 22nd of the 4th, 20 SPAG, and we want to view a certain child's work, we go down and click on the 3 dots. This will open up as View Submission, and it will take you into a new tab where you can reply and check their work and give feedback. Another way to do this is to click on the specific task, and again it will give us a summary: 2 handed in, 1 assigned and 1 marked. Along the edge here we've got where how we can sort the children's work. I tend to click sort by status so that I have the ones that are handed in first and the ones that have not attempted it next. You can also sort by first name and by surname. To mark their work, I'm going to click on Daryl's here as an example, and it will open it into a new tab at the top. Again, to scroll through different children's work, we can click on the little down arrow. It will bring up the whole of the class, again sorting it in the same ways as before. You can also navigate using our forward and our backwards arrows. So if I were to go forward, it would go into Ivy's work, and if I were to go back, it would go back to Daryl's. Okay, so to read through the assignment, we just scroll down like a normal document. Nothing's changed here really. If we want to add a comment, one way to do it is to click on this little bar here where it says comment bank. It's just loaded up just here. We can add to bank. So if there, for example, we've added well done for including an adjective. If I wanted to put great use of adverb here, I would click add. And here is where we can build up a bank of comments, generic comments that you might want to use on multiple work. So to use it, I would click on the 3 dots, click copy to clipboard, and then to add a comment in the actual work, you need to highlight where, and just scroll to the side, and the little plus button will come out a similar way to a post-it note. You click add comment, and then I just paste it in there and click comment. If you wanted to type your own comment that's more personal to the child, then that again is a way that you could do it. So we highlight and press our add comment button. Great work, Daryl. And again, you can see that Mr. Jensen's posting it. So when the child goes back into their work, they will have their work highlighted, and they just need to hover over it and the comment will come up.
If you'd like to make a correction on a spelling or a grammar correction, there's a way you can do that which will notify the student as well. For example, this spelling here is spelt wrong. It was meant to say information, but if you just click and click like that, it will add in the comment to say information was spelt wrong. And when the child receives that back, they can click, oh yes, I've made a mistake, and click accept, and that will change their work for them. But it gives them notification that it's a correction that needs to be made, so it just doesn't do it automatically. They can actually see where the mistakes are. It's really useful for formatting as well. For example, if you wanted the child to create a new paragraph, for example here, they may not need a paragraph here, but just to show you. So if we put that one down like that, it will also say add paragraph, and you can write a comment to that as well, saying need a paragraph on this section of your work. Then they will see that and accept it as well. So there are ways you can give feedback to your students through spelling, grammar and formatting as well.
If we go back onto the tab on the right hand side here, we're still on the comment bank. If we click add grading instead, you can see that you can give a mark out of 100, which is really useful for percentages. If perhaps you've got, say, 6 questions that they've answered, maybe for a reading comprehension, we can change that to change the total points and change it back to 6. However it works, make sure you always click change and any ticks so that things are saved. With Google, everything saves automatically when you're typing, which is a great tool to have. Sometimes it is useful to have it as ungraded or unmarked. So this section will not be there. It's just particularly useful for when they are doing a writing piece with maybe Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2 children. It works quite well with that because then they're not bogged down on the mark that they've got out of 100. Another great feature is the private comments. Now, when you're adding this, it is exactly as it says on the tin, completely private. Anything that you type here and send back to the pupil, only that pupil and their parent will be able to see, none of the other children. So I could say, really enjoyed reading your English work. Today. Keep up the good work. Just a way to make the work a lot more personal in a sort of way that you'd give verbal feedback in classes in your classrooms. This is just how you do it on Google Classroom. And then make sure you click post and the child will be notified directly when that has gone through. The child can also reply back. I know in my personal classroom, I've had children reply, thank you, or how are you, or hope you're staying safe. And it's just a nice way to keep in touch with the children, really. At the top, up here, we've got our return button. So if perhaps the child hasn't quite grasped the assignment correctly and you need them to redo a bit, have a look into your comments and go back over things, add any more information, click return, and it says student will be notified and can check any marks you've left. You click return again. Okay, I'm not going to return this for this example, but that's how we get onto it.
So we're going to go back onto the stream just for now. Another good example of how to use Google Classrooms is when you've got two classrooms here, you go into to do, you'll have a list of the works that's been set in this class. But if you go into this here, it will give you an option of which classes you'd like to select. So for our example, we've got the TCAT demo classroom. But if you'd actually like to use another classroom, for example, in a secondary school, you may have your year 7s, your year 8s, your year 9s, and you might have them in a list. So you can actually go from one class to the other, which makes it really easy for you to mark work and give feedback. So if we go back into TCAT demo classroom, bring up our stream, we need to get onto our marks page. So the marks page is just up here. So along here where it says marks, we click that and we bring up what Charlie brought up before, which is our marks on each individual assignment from each individual child as well. If you've already set a quiz or form with specific answers, for example, our guided reading assignment, Google will automatically mark this form for you. If you tune in tomorrow at 10:30, one of our TCAT colleagues will show you in more detail how to create quizzes for your classroom. So if we go into an example of that, which is a quiz here, this one was a automatic quiz that had already been marked automatically, and it had a score of 50 of 100. So there was no need for us to actually mark and give feedback to that. However, you can view it and maybe give a private comment just like this. So well done, just remember, check through your work before submitting. So the questions were already marked automatically, but we can still leave a nice private comment as well on what they may need to work on or a positive. So if we go back into our marks, another way to engage pupils on Google Classroom is to set specific questions. So this assignment here was to discuss the main character. So if we look at our question that we set, discuss the main character in our key text, wonder. So who are they? Where are they from? What emotions do they display at the start of the text? That's the question our teacher, Mr. Jensen, set. If we go into student answers, we have 1 handed in, as you can see, and 3 assigned. So 3 are yet to hand theirs in, but we've got 1 assigned. We can see that directly below. So Annabella Redmond, who is obviously just an example for this, she has sent her answer through. which we can read. When we reply, we can see it, a big capital letters at the start there, reply. We click that and we can reply to the comment that has been made on the question. Bear in mind, when we reply on this part on Google Classroom, it will be public. So every single child can actually see that. So be aware of what you're actually commenting back. We go back into our classroom.
So that's a little guide on how to give feedback to your students on Google Classroom. We're going to take a look at any questions on here and give our best to give you some answers. Just a quick reminder, if this was helpful, please give us a like and a subscribe to our TCAP Professional Development YouTube channel. And we really hope it's been of good use to you. So let's just have a look, see if we've got any questions here. Nope, I think we're all good. So like I said, we have more webinars coming on soon and we hope to hear from you very soon. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in.